By a vote of 187 countries in favor, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the resolution that condemns and calls for an end to the U.S. embargo on Cuba. The U.S., as expected, objected, along with Israel and Brazil. Colombia and Ukraine abstained.
President Donald Trump's government has begun escalating its aggression against Cuba by applying unconventional measures in order to prevent the supply of fuel to our country through sanctions and threats to ships, shipping companies and insurance companies from diverse markets. Its goal, beyond disturbing the economy, is to damage the Cuban family's standard of living.
The U.S. blockade dates back to 1960 when it was first imposed. And since 1992, the General Assembly has passed a resolution condemning the embargo every year for 28 years. The Obama administration in 2014 tried to normalize relations with Havana, but those steps were reversed by the Trump administration, to the disappointment of many nations. China was among countries calling for an end to the embargo.
From April 2018 to March 2019, the embargo cost Cuba over $2 billion of foreign trade losses, as well as over $700 million of financial losses. This is contrary to the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and the relevant resolutions of the UN General Assembly.
Russia said the U.S. blockade has cost more than $900 billion in economic damage. Ahead of the vote, U.S. Ambassador to the UN Kelly Croft defended the U.S. embargo.
Like all nations, we get to choose which countries we trade with. This is our sovereign right. So it is worrying that the international community, in the name of protecting sovereignty, continues to challenge this right.
Despite a resolution every year, the vote actually carries very little weight because it is not legally binding. What it does do is send a very clear message that the U.S. stands virtually alone on this issue that many countries see as politically unnecessary and morally questionable for its impact on the civilian population. Liling, CGTN at the United Nations.